Sementara itu, isu ubatan awam ataupun generic medicine dijangka menjadi isu yang dibincangkan dalam rundingan TPPA di Brunei. Dengan wujudnya TPPA, kos perubatan dijangka meningkat kepada orang awam sesudah tidak boleh penggunaan ubat awam ataupun generic medicine. Antara perkara lain yang akan turut dibincangkan termasuk isu penyelesaian pertikaian pelabur negara ASTS dan untuk melihat perkembangan rundingan TPPA pusingan ke-19 ataupun pusingan di Brunei, kita bersama Fifa Rahman dari Malaysian AIDS Council dan juga Bantah TPPA yang kini berada di Bandar Seri Begawan. Hello Fifa.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Fifa?
I'm fantastic.
Okay, first of all, maybe you can introduce, maybe you can share with us how the negotiations or discussions in Brunei are being done, and what the response so far, looking at how negative the response was to some of the things that were discussed during the Kota Kinabalu round.
Well, I'm in the venue right now, and we are actually not allowed into the negotiating area, but we're in the hall. And it's 6 o'clock and 6:30, and only some of the negotiators have come out. So I think they're still in the thick of it. But we did meet a couple of negotiators, and it was interesting what they said. So tomorrow is Stakeholder Day. And Stakeholder Day is when we will get the chance to present and meet with negotiators in a bit more deeper sense.
You said you met some of the negotiators, right? Anything you can share with us on the response so far?
Well, I met foreign negotiators. I didn't meet any Malaysian ones yet.
Okay.
But they did say that the US their hands are tied by the pharmaceutical industry, and there's a need to be realistic. They spoke about finding the golden balance between protecting the pharmaceutical companies' rights and protecting public access to generic medicines. So, but I think the most notable thing that they said was that the United States has its hands tied by the pharmaceutical industry.
And maybe we can go back and to the points that we've discussed when you were here in the studio. We've mentioned how if we were to move forward with the eradication of generic medicines, the cost of medicines and healthcare to the general public would increase. Maybe you can share with us these thoughts.
Yeah, it's actually quite scary because, as I mentioned on the show, household income is only 4,000 something, and you know, people living with HIV have an even lower household income. And you know, if you think about a normal household income and somebody in the family gets cancer, that person is going to be paying double or triple of their household income to pay for their cancer. And I'll give you an example of Nexavar, which is a kidney and liver cancer drug. And Nexavar is 9,600 ringgit a month, for example. So that's double of what is the household income. And for HIV positive people, these are people who come from the poorer section of society. And if generics are blocked, they will not have access to the third-line medicines and the second-line medicines, which are much better for their systems. They have less side effects, and they have much higher threshold to resistance, and they just won't be able to afford it. We're talking about some HIV medicines which are third-line, which are 1,600 ringgit a month, and you have to keep in mind that HIV patients earn less. And, you know, it's just crazy. We won't be able to afford it. It's basically going to kill us.
No, but will this only affect countries like Malaysia? Because looking at the other countries negotiating, America, Australia, Brunei, New Zealand, Singapore, and also Japan, these are some of the countries which has household income which are much higher. Will they also be affected if generic medicines were to be abolished?
Yeah, I think that's definitely one of the possibilities. Of course, everybody has different systems. Like New Zealand and Australia have pharmaceutical benefit schemes that can subsidize the medicines prices. We don't have something like that, and we would be affected in different ways. But no doubt, I mean, thinking about America has very strong IP provisions, and you know, people still can't afford their medicines, and everything is patented. They're patented. patenting of surgeries, patenting of diagnostic methods. It's really quite bad. So that's the situation.
Okay, what will you be presenting during the Stakeholders Day tomorrow?
I have actually delegated the baton to Mac's Honorary Secretary, and he will be presenting on my behalf on HIV and breast cancer. So we'll be presenting several statistics to the negotiators, and these statistics include the fact that every 69 seconds in the entire world a woman dies of breast cancer. We are also going to say that people who are HIV-positive people who are eligible for antiretroviral therapy is 32,000 people. So, but only 15,000 people receive antiretroviral treatment. So we haven't even reached universal access yet, and the Trans-Pacific Partnership is going to greatly reduce those targets. So it's going to be a huge problem. So these are some of the statistics we'll present tomorrow to the negotiators.
Will you get immediate response from the people during the presentation, or will they be keeping their response to later?
They have the option of immediately giving us their response. Otherwise, we'll have to meet them later. So what we do after the presentations is immediately usually go and find the U.S. Chief Intellectual Property Negotiator and find him and see what he says, or we go find the Malaysian IP negotiator and see what he thinks. And, you know, it's a lot of lobbying, and it's a lot of trying to get to know whether they took our concerns into consideration. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, and my colleagues will update you on that.
Okay, thank you very much, Fifa.
No worries.
And good luck on the presentation.
Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you. Itu dari Fifa Rahman dari Malaysian AIDS Council dan juga Bantah TPPA yang kini berada di Bandar Seri Begawan untuk rundingan pusingan TPPA di Brunei. Dan kita akan berhenti berehat seketika selepas ini.